Are you wanting to scale your business with digital products? I'm Becky Beach, and I've grown $1 million digital product empire that earns me passive income while I sleep, eat, and play. Join me each week as we grow our digital product businesses together. This is the Becky Beach Show. Hey everybody, this is the Becky Beach Show. I'm Becky Beach, and today's guest is Jenna Carlsson. She's a professional organizer over at thejoyfilter.me. Welcome, Jenna.
Thank you, Becky. So glad to be here.
Yeah, today, Jenna and I are going to be talking about how to organize your life for business owners. When you live in a clutter-free environment, it helps you so much more with your focus when you're working on your business. Would you agree?
Definitely. Yeah. As a background in a professional organizer and being certified in Marie Kondo's magical method of tidying up, I love to help people declutter and really have much more stress-free homes, lives, and businesses.
I actually met Jenna when I was on a business mastermind for speaking with Katarina Randa. We met up in San Francisco, and I was really impressed with Jenna and her business. And she told us that she went to see Marie Kondo in Japan.
Yes, yes, it was so lovely meeting you there. And yeah, I had the honor and privilege of being able to take a trip with several other certified KonMari consultants that have been certified in her method. And we got to see Japan through her eyes. We got to meet her, her team, meet the other Japanese consultants. It was just such a magical learning experience, such a beautiful experience. I feel really excited that I could go on that.
Oh, yes, I'm so jealous. I would love to go to Japan one day. I'm actually kind of like saving up for it, sort of like here and there. I really, really want to go. It's just such an amazing place. So what was your favorite thing about meeting her there?
Yeah, Japan is just, it's amazing how many things are different in Japan from how we have them set up here. They've solved problems that I didn't realize were problems here in the States. And yeah, we got to have amazing food. We got to tour and see these Shinto temples that were important to her, Shinto shrines, Buddhist temples, and we got to play rock, paper, scissors with Marie Kondo. So that was super fun. And yeah, just her energy. She has just such a calming energy and a light spirit. And to be able to be in that presence and hear about her journey, because now she has 3 kids. And so that's changed how she's connected to decluttering. And she can't be quite the same person as she was when she was single, but she still believes in the importance of not just decluttering, but decluttering so that way you can have a life that's important to you. It's really aligning your life with your values. So it was just, yeah, such a joyful experience being there.
Yeah, I like how she teaches that, like, if there's something in your house that isn't bringing you joy, then you should like, declutter it, get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very intuitive based. It's like asking yourself what sparks joy, choosing the things that do, and letting go and thinking the things that don't.
Yes, what would you say to a business owner out there that's saying, well, this sounds interesting, but I just don't think I have the time to declutter. Like, I'm just so busy. What would you say to that person?
Yeah, this is a great question. So, a little bit about how I came to decluttering and through to Marie Kondo's method is I am an entrepreneur. But first, I had a events business, so I've had that for now coming on 10 years this year, which is exciting. And then I added in my KonMari business. But I came to KonMari and decluttering and tidying because I was so overwhelmed in my events business, keeping all these papers, not having a good organizational system for them, trying to keep everything together for everyone else, and feeling like I was at the wit's end of what I could really organize. And I think I'm a pretty organized person, but I also am used to keeping a lot of things. So I get that for those of people who are feeling overwhelmed and feeling like they don't have time to declutter. And I have to say that it's what helped me when things feel out of control, maybe in the world or in our business. It's really nice to bring the attention back to the things that we can control and be able to focus on those, declutter, and create a space that's going to help us to feel more calm, to feel relieved, and to be able to do our best work because we're focused on the things that matter to us. So it took some shifting for me. I used to see it not as part of my work, like, well, organizing, saving things the right way in certain files, like that's not real work. But actually, that is the work that's so important to do to be able to have the businesses and lives that we want. And so just shifting that perspective of that's all part of it, and you'll be able to be more productive when you let go of the clutter.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because yeah, 'cause I kind of struggle with keeping things decluttered myself, and I find that if I'm in an environment that's decluttered, and everything's organized, everything is in its place, I can find things better. So that makes me more productive. So I can get done the things that I need to be done. Because if you're living in like a decluttered office, for instance, like you don't know where things are, and you, especially if you're doing services, like a service-based business, it can be so difficult to locate what you need, and it's just yeah, it could just create a lot of frustration.
Yeah, I've had a lot of clients come to me feeling like, oh, I was looking for this. I couldn't find this one paper I really needed for my taxes. I'm missing one of my kids' birth certificates or passports and things where they just, yeah, it's frustration. It's overwhelming. We can't find those things. And so being able to really like let go of the things that don't matter, create a system for the things that do, and be able to find things easily and do our work easily, it just makes our lives so much more peaceful rather than fighting with papers and fighting to find the things that we need quickly when we need them.
Yeah, so true. So Jenna, could you tell us more about you? Like, how'd you get started doing this decluttering?
Yeah. So, like I said, I was working in my events business. I was just working on an event for 6 months, putting in so much hard work, and it ended up getting canceled the day before because of a labor strike at the venue where we were going to do it. So that happened. Then I had a lot of other things happen in my life at the time. Both of my parents went through major surgeries. I had a death in the family. And my mom, right after her surgery, then had to evacuate because there was a fire close to her. She evacuated to my house. So I just felt like I was being hit over the head again and again as a planner. That you cannot plan anything, you can't control anything. There's things in life that are out of our control. And so I had found Marie Kondo's book, and I just started bit by bit taking things that were in my control and focusing on them. So I started organizing like little space in my house that would help me feel better when I was feeling overwhelmed with my work. Then later I took out all my clothes and I started going through my clothes and deciding what I wanted to let go of. So I just started turning the attention on the things that I could control. And we're in another place in life, in the world, where there's a lot of things that are outside of our control, and we need to do work to influence the things that we want to, but in the world, but also remember the things that we can't control, and like how can we put some energy in ourselves. So I started doing that, and as I just started getting these really great benefits. I'm like, oh, I feel lighter. I like how my closet works. It's easier for me to find things. And I just started continuing with it and continuing with it. Ended up hiring a KonMari consultant to help me with my decluttering when I felt stuck and felt overwhelmed, and then just kept following my intuition as the method said, and it led me all the way to go to KonMari consultant training, become a certified Marie Kondo consultant, and then be able to help others. And now it's just, I love it because I get to go to people's homes and we get such a fast result in their mental health and well-being because of their space so quickly. And so it's a way that I can help people. And I just, yeah, I never looked back.
Yeah, that just sounds so amazing. I'm sure there's people out there thinking that, oh, well, I don't know if I have a decluttering problem. I'm not like a hoarder or anything. Like you're just like there are just different levels of like clutter, aren't there? Like hoarding is probably the extreme.
Yeah, there's definitely a huge spectrum of people, and there's some people who are very, very minimalist, and they don't want anything in their space, and so that might bother them more having things in their space. And then there's other people who are comfortable with a lot more items or more things in their space. In terms of like actual hoarding disorder, that's something that I usually suggest contacting a mental health professional, because there's underlying causes for that need to be addressed in order to have that person get the support that they need. But for anyone else that's really on the spectrum, feeling like overwhelmed with clutter, they might have feelings of shame, they might feel, yeah, overwhelmed. There's so many things that we can do. And I like to say that it's really never about the stuff, it's always about what's underneath that stuff. So if you're keeping a binder of a business training you went to, it might be because you have these thoughts and ideas that you want to implement. Or if you're keeping clothes that don't fit, but they're a memory of an identity that you had before. Like these are all identity shifts. These are changes. It can be grief in a way to let go of something that was once dear to you, but doesn't really necessarily represent who you are anymore. So it's definitely a reflection process, and it can be hard, but it can be fun and it can be interesting as we get to know who we are now and what's important to us now, and let go and think the things that we don't need anymore.
Yeah, I so agree. And like another reason to have clutter around is comfort. Because I grew up very poor. And when I was little, I didn't have hardly anything. Like we just didn't have much. We went without a lot of times. So nowadays, I like to have a lot of things. Like I like to have a lot of jewelry, clothes. I enjoy having, I got some makeup I got to declutter. Like decluttering your makeup is a project in itself. There's a lot of old makeup that I just keep around. Like I really need to go through that, and also have like a doll collection because I didn't have I grew up not having many toys, so nowadays I like to collect dolls and toys that I couldn't purchase when I was little, like American Girl dolls, for instance. And yeah, so that's another thing, like comfort. Do your clients ever run into that?
Yeah, that's a really beautiful reflection, and thank you for sharing that so vulnerably. I think that, yeah, there's so much about how our backgrounds, how we were raised, our families' connection to things, and how we grew up that impacts how we are today. And I think that having that self-awareness is really huge because, yeah, like you with the dolls, it might be something that sparks a lot of joy for you now that you're like, I couldn't afford those dolls. My family couldn't get those dolls for me growing up, and I want to be able to get those for myself now. And so, yeah, you get to choose that. You get to say, this sparks joy for me. I'll do this. Or I have a client and friend that I was working with who has a lot of hair ties and accessories for her daughter because she never got to have those types of fun hair things when she grew up. And so she gets to play through that. And also her daughter likes those. And so it's just keeping an awareness of when is it something that is sparking joy for you, and when is it something that you're like, you know what? I don't need to keep this anymore. That's not a version of me that I am anymore. Or the makeup, for example, if you're like, okay, I have expired makeup, I can let it go and purchase new makeup that fits for me now, and you can give yourself some extra appreciation and reassurance also to say, I am able to do that now. And I know I've heard, yeah, your podcast and your money story and how much you've shifted, and that's huge. And you can shift along with that your self-talk and beliefs as you talk to yourself of like, for some people, like this happened in the pandemic, for example, a lot of people, keeping extra toilet paper, keeping extra food. And then some people still hold on to things for different reasons. And so you can tell yourself of like, yeah, I am safe. I am okay. I am abundant. And I'm able to get those things again if I need them, and thank them though. But you can also thank that part of you that like, yeah, I appreciate that I'm able to get these now, or thanking that part of you that was able to scrimp and save and be able to get by with less. And so it's just, I think scarcity is a real thing. Scarcity is something that so many people in this country suffer from when there's really not enough growing up. It's a real situation. And there's also how we see ourselves. Do we see ourselves in a scarcity or in an abundance? And I've actually had clients say that as they go through their clothes and they think about what they want to let go of, they thought they would feel a scarcity getting rid of things. But they say, actually, I feel more abundant because now I know everything in my closet I love and I can wear. And I feel abundant that I am able to be generous and give to other people. Like my mom, she was able to give to fire victims who had lost everything in the
Oh, that's
fire, and she was
nice.
able to let go. Yeah, so that gives you a feeling of abundance as well as when we're able to share. So, yeah.
Gosh, I just love that she was so giving, and I could see you being such a giving woman yourself now. You probably got that from her, right?
Yeah, it's like some things in family. Yeah, I get to choose the things from each of my parents. Like, what are the things that I want to keep in my philosophy, and what are the things I want to let go of? It's like you can KonMari belief systems also, and so I think it's just being intentional is the main thing of however we want to have our items. We get to decide what sparks joy for us, what works for our storage, for our families, and being intentional with that.
Yeah, I so agree because it can be hard, growing up with so little, and then you do get a scarcity mindset. So I'm still battling with that. Like on one hand, I try to bring abundance into my life, but because I have all this stuff and I just enjoy seeing the stuff. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like when I see the stuff, I feel comforted and secure. Like I know, and
Mhm.
my husband is upset with me because I have all this stuff, especially in my bathroom. Like I have a lot of, like I had signed up to this membership where every month you would get these products like bath products, hair care products. It was called Ipsy and makeup. So I just was I was for several years I subscribed to that, and I was in the pro one where I would get the full size items. So now I got tons and tons of stuff everywhere, all over the bathroom, all stuff I need to declutter because I don't use half of it. And my husband's like, I really need to get rid of this stuff. Like the counter is covered with all this stuff, and I just can't find myself to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think I see with a lot of clients where there's a place where it tips the scale. Like we feel like we want, we might want to bring something in new, which is okay to bring new things and it's okay to, yeah, to bring things that spark joy for us. And then at a certain point, it might tip where you're like, okay, now storing all these items is not sparking joy for me anymore. Like there's a place where I'm like, you want to be able to have the space is more valuable than the item. So you have to see where is the tipping point, and it might be different for you versus for your husband. And so, what I like to recommend in those kind of situations is just take everything out, see what it can look like without the things, and then choose the things that spark joy that you want to bring back in. That way you're kind of disrupting the status quo and you're choosing what you want to bring back into your space. But I think having that self-awareness and knowing what you like and why, I think that makes so much sense, and that helps as you're going through the process of looking and deciding what we want to keep in our homes.
Yeah, so this is just a great idea. So, like, I really want to get that bathroom organized and get rid of that excess products I'm not using because I only use a few things of the stuff. So I really need to get like a container, like go to the container store. You, do you like going to the container store?
Yeah, I was gonna say you can take everything out and then you can see maybe like in the Marie Kondo method, there's a lot of containment of things, and it might be on a tray, a nice tray that you like, or it might be in a container. You could even use a box at home. People, that's how she started, and then later swapped for other things. And so you don't have to have a lot of money to be able to declutter things. There's ways to do it from on every budget. And so I would say, yeah, you take things out and then you can find something that works for you. Maybe it's underneath the sink, or maybe it's something that's on the counter, and then things end up to be contained in that space, and it keeps things, it has a home for things, and then they also don't grow bigger than that. So I think that's something that's nice to add after you've decluttered things.
God, this is just getting the wheels in my head turning. I'm thinking about all the stuff in my house that I want to declutter. Like even our pantry, there's just like some of the food is old that we haven't gotten rid of. And there's just all these places in my house that I'm just thinking of now that need to be decluttered. I wish you could come over here and help me.
Well, I would be happy to come and help you. And yeah, I think it's just in our lives, in our culture, it's just there's consume, consume, consume. And so it's easy to just bring more things into our lives, add more things on our calendars, bring more items into the house, and it will happen naturally. And so then we have to add a system of like also going through and letting items go. And one thing I really like from the Marie Kondo method is that she considers the items have a soul and a purpose. And so if that's the case, like you can ask yourself, is that item serving its purpose? And if there's items that you are being enjoyed, appreciated, used, that's great. And if they're not, then it's okay to pass them along to their next home. And I think that, yeah, it's just creating that intentionality that things come in, but also things go out, and there's a flow. Just like we talk with money, there's flow in and out. With things, there's a flow of things in and out, and it doesn't just get stagnant and then build.
Yeah, I so agree. I'm actually going to be having a garage sale to benefit my women's course in October. So
Mhm.
that's a great opportunity for me to get all the old stuff because I have a lot of baby stuff from when Brian was a baby. He's now 9 years old, and I can't have any more children. So like it's pointless for me to keep all this baby stuff. So I'm gonna like get it all together. And it's stuff that could be sold. It's like really nice things. Like there's a crib, and I got like a diaper genie that's cleaned and has it's like it could be reused. And there's in like a crib. Yeah, I got a crib. I got just all kinds of different baby stuff and toys, and I really need to get that out of the house as well. So do you think having a garage sale is a great idea to get rid of declutter?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I think having some event is really helpful to have a end goal, whether that's a garage sale. If there's a neighborhood garage sale, that's great. Sometimes garage sales can be overwhelming for folks. So even it can be having a party, hosting a few people in your house, and then there's an end date to bring things for. Or maybe there's a donation drive where people want to be able to contribute. So I love the idea of having like an end goal that brings some motivation. And I think just to comment about the things that were your sons, like, yeah, I've had this with many clients where there can be a grieving process in a way, or thinking about like people who are considering if they want to have another kid, or if they can't have another kid, or have decided not to. It can be like, wow, this is the last time that this is going to be used. It can be a grief. And I had one client have a lot of hesitation to get rid of the changing table, and it was taking a broom in her bathroom. She needed to let it go, bathroom, bedroom, and she decided instead to put pictures of her kids when they were babies in the closet to really help that remember. She wanted to remember when they were babies and remember that, like, those special moments. And instead of keeping a bulky item to do that, she could do that through a photo. So I thought that was a really beautiful way to address it and say, okay, thank you for the things that it's given me, pass it along to someone who can use it, and then still have a way to honor that special time that she had with her kids.
Oh, I just love the idea because, yes, I have a changing table upstairs in my guest room, and I just can't bear to get rid of it because, a part of me is thinking, well, maybe you might have another kid. I'm now 43, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I could have another kid, maybe I can't. Like every year, I think about that because I would really love to have another kid, but it's just not good for my mental health to have one because I did very poorly in my last pregnancy. Like I had mental health issues and also health issues. Like
Mm.
I had the diabetes that you get, and so it was just really like taxing on my health and like mental and physical. So I just don't think I could have another child. But I still want to have another kid. Like there's just part of me that just wants to have it. I mean, I'm even still menstruating, so I know I could have one. It's just so hard.
Yeah, I think that going through things in the house, it totally brings up all of these things, and it's completely normal that all of these emotions are there, because the things are not the things. They represent bigger
Yeah.
things, bigger decisions. And so I think it's just being gentle with yourself as you're going through things, as you're making decisions. I tell clients, like, also, if they are, it could be your kids' items, baby items, it could be a book or a binder of business materials of something that they wanted to start that they're not. Sometimes letting go of the thing, it's not making the decision forever. Like, it could be I'm going to make this decision and let it go, or it could be I'm going to let go of this. It's not creating space, like taking away space in the house. I'm going to let it go. And you just because you let go of a book of business ideas doesn't mean that you're not an entrepreneur. It doesn't mean that you can't, like, do something different in the future. And just if you let go of the changing table doesn't mean that you won't in some way have a connection to either another kid, or maybe it looks different. Maybe a family could look different. So I think it's allowing ourselves to feel those feelings, bring it up, maybe journal about it, and honor the things as we're letting them go, or as we decide to keep them.
Yeah, I remember earlier you said that every object has a soul, and that's really true. Now that I think about it, I didn't really think about that before because there's just different things and they give off different energy. Because I'm an empath and I could feel energy and having, like for instance, my dolls, they give off energy like it brings me back to a happier time before my family ended up, like getting in dire straits. At one point we did have a very good upbringing. But then when my mother ended up with mental illness, that's where everything went downhill, and we ended up losing our house, and she had to get rid of all our stuff, and even our family pictures are gone. So, yeah, so it just brings me back to a happier time, and those dolls give off this positive energy to me, and it makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's beautiful that you can see that, and you can see, like, those are things that spark joy for me, and I want to keep them, and why. And it's something that connects to your childhood, something that was positive before a lot of the things that shifted and changed as your mom was suffering with mental illness. And yeah, so I think it's just you get to see something and see if it sparks joy. And I'll give an example. Let's see here. Going to give an example of how we do it in the Marie Kondo method is we hold up an item, and this is a pink box cutter. This is one of my favorite
Oh.
tools for my KonMari business because we open a lot of boxes in it, but I like that it's pink, but it's also powerful and
Mhm.
it's super helpful. And so this item sparks joy for me and I like it. And we get to decide if it's something utilitarian, like we might like it because of how it looks, or we might like because of what it does for us. Like, oh, I like that this can help me with this thing. And so it's not an extreme joy, but I like this thing. Like it makes me happy. With the dolls, it might be like an extreme joy. Like there's different levels of it, but we hold something up and we see how it makes us feel. And if the thing that you feel when you hold something up is like, oh, I really should probably keep this because somebody gave this to me, or I spend money on it, or I should have read this book. And just notice the energy is really different with that versus with the things that spark joy for us. And so it's really focusing our energy on the things that spark joy, choosing them, keeping them, and then allowing ourselves to like make decisions on when the things are like, oh, well, it's usually not our intuition speaking. It's usually our talk, the mental piece that's then talking to us afterwards, like, but this and this, and we rationalize or analyze it. And so it's trying to remember that our intuition has the first thought, like the first idea is from what sparks joy for us, and letting ourselves make decisions from a place of that.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, I wanted to tell everybody about this amazing thing that you do the second of every Saturday of the month. You do a 3-hour decluttering party. Could you let everybody know more about that?
Yeah. So even though I'm located in San Francisco Bay Area, I serve people from all across the U.S. and the world. And one of the ways that I do that is I have these clutter clear out parties every second Saturday. And it's a great way if you've been feeling stuck and you just don't know where to start. It's a great community. It's usually all women. And we come on, and they're from 9 to 12 Pacific. And we come on, and you bring a project that you want to work on. So it's kind of like co working, but for decluttering. And say I have people that want to work on their closet, or they're working in their kitchen. Maybe they're decluttering their office. I have someone that's going to be calling in from their basement. Wherever it is that makes sense for you, you get to bring the project, and then you get 2 hours of dedicated decluttering time. We do a little mini dance break in the middle, and you'll get the support and accountability of a community of people who are all working on that. And you don't have to show your space if you don't want to. But the main thing is making us feel like we're not alone. There's all people are working on different things, and you don't have to feel judgment. You feel compassion, and you root the other people on as they're rooting you on, and then we share wins at the end. And so this is something I do every second Saturday, and we can put a link in the notes, and also a free pass. So because you can come for free with a free pass for the coupon guest. And I'd love to have folks come on, get some decluttering done, and just not stay stuck. Get the support of community.
Oh, I just love that. Yeah, I want to go to the next one. So if anyone's out there listening, they want to come, like I'll be there too. We can declutter together. I want to get rid of all the stuff in my bathroom. It's just a big mess in there. Because I think coming up, 'cause I want to probably get this out on Monday or Tuesday. So the second Saturday, that's like tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we have one that is September 13th. There's one to August 9th, and then September 13th would be next after that.
Okay, yeah, I probably have to come to that one because tomorrow I think I have to do something. Like,
Well,
or I
it would be
might come
lovely to
tomorrow.
have
I don't
you.
know. Yeah, but we'll talk. We'll have more about that in our show notes over at beckybeachshow.com if you're interested in hanging out with Jenna and myself and getting things decluttered. Like I think that's a great way to take action and actually get things done. And plus you have other people doing it as well. So you got accountability and like it's like a social party is that's like a really great idea.
Yeah, it's a really nice way for people to start. And for people who might not feel ready for in-person organizing, I do in-person organizing in the Bay Area, and I also travel. I love traveling. So I get to help people in person in their homes all across the US. But it's also really nice to just have people be able to start with something that's easy, come on, no pressure, and just feel that like you're getting going on something. You'll feel that relief and release right away. So I'd be happy to have anyone that would like to come, and I'm so glad that you'll get to join also, Becky, and yeah, get some motivation, some decluttering done.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited about that. Okay, so again, make sure you check out the show notes at beckybeachshow.com. Well, thanks so much for being here, Jenna. Do you have any last words for our listeners?
Yeah, I would say if you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck in anything in your life, your home, your business, start by going within, start by doing some decluttering, and you don't have to have the answer right away. Just trust the intuition and the process. And I'd say start with clothes. If you're not sure what to start with clothes. If you're feeling overwhelmed in your office, you can start with your office, whichever one you want to do, but just start doing something, hold something up, see if it sparks joy, and you will feel so much better afterwards. So just know that you don't have to have all the answers or all the time to get going. It's okay to start small and get support for that, whether that's a friend, whether that's coming to a clutter clear out party, whether that's bringing in a professional organizer. There's lots of ways to get support, but just know that you're not alone. We're all working on this. We all come from our different backgrounds, and be gentle with yourself in the process of it.
Oh, that sounds great. I just love that. Okay, well, thanks again. Again, check out the show notes at beckybeachshow.com. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Becky Beach Show. Please check out the show notes at beckybeachshow.com and my membership, businessbeachclub.com, to start and scale your own digital products business. Have a great day. See you next time on the Becky Beach Show.